question goes back to chapter 4. You mentioned that every man has things he has no interest in providing or simply cannot provide, and that we should never ask for the latter. So it seems learning a man's cannots or doesn't wish tos early on can be pretty key in determining compatibility within a relationship. So how and when in the course of dating is it most effective to ask a man what he can't provide or is not interested in providing? What if these issues come up after you're already in a committed relationship? Did you discover something that you needed to receive from Greg that he couldn't provide or had no interest in providing? If so, how did you work around that? Thanks.
Hi Tamara, thanks for your question. You mostly focused on what a man can't provide and how to figure that out, but I want to address first the other part of that equation, which is has no interest in providing. And this is important because as a man goes through the stages of development, which we talk about in Keys to the Kingdom, the prequel to the Queen's Code, as he becomes a king, what he's not interested in providing, he actually won't provide. So it translates not just not interested, but will not provide. A man earlier in life may be willing to provide what he's not interested in providing, but that will change as he gets older. So it's important to pay attention to that as well. On the other hand, there are things that men really want to provide. And when you can match up what it is that you most need and what matters to you with what they most want to provide, then the amount of effort that you spend in the relationship goes way down. And that's what Greg and I had to do. And the way that we did it, I'm going to recommend it to everybody, because what you have to do is tell them, and you have to tell them early on. If you're using internet dating, I'd actually put it in your profile. What is it that you need in a relationship? What can't you live with? And what can't you live without? Those are what I would call your deal breakers. And you want to express those. And I know it's scary to express those in the beginning because then you think you might scare them off. But that's actually the point. You want to scare off a man who isn't interested in providing or can't provide what it is that you really need. Scare him off. If he can be scared off, that's actually a good thing. Now, on the other hand, he may also opt in. So he might opt out, but he could also opt in. Wow, that's what she needs? I've got that. I want to give that to her. Or, as I know in the case of at least one couple, when he heard what the woman he was dating really needed and was looking for from a partner, he knew he wasn't that, but he wanted to be. So he became it. He told me this story while holding their baby daughter in his arms and thanked me for who he'd become by his girlfriend being encouraged to express what it is that really mattered to her, and then she became his wife. So I'm telling you all this because it'll be tough. It's not an easy thing to do, to come out and say what it is that you need, and even go beyond that and express your dreams. The dreams that you're committed to having be part of your life. Like on my first date with Greg, he asked me what I really wanted. And I said I wanted to have another child. I had a son from my first marriage. I said I wanted to have at least one more child, and I wanted to be home to raise them. That was hard for me to say, but I did. And I found out later in that moment that he had decided that he wanted to do that. He wanted to provide that for me. And not only that, that I needed to have 2 daughters, which we have. So this isn't going to be easy, but it's really important. Get it up front. Get it up front so that they can sort in or out. Now, if you're in the middle of a committed relationship and you find out something that you need, now you've got to really look at it. What does it cost you to not get this need met, to not have it provided by your partner? And are you willing to go a lifetime without that? Or are you willing to go without it for 6 months or a year? So timing is really important, and being honest about the timing is really important. If it's a short period of time, you can probably get through it. Forever, you may need to change the form of the relationship. By the way, this conversation isn't just for women. Obviously, it applies to men as well in figuring out what it is that they need. Now, if you want more coaching on this subject, we actually talk about it along with a lot of other topics in a workshop that we recorded many years ago. It's called In Sync with the Opposite Sex, and it's our most popular product at PAX Programs, and you can find it at understandmen.com. Thanks, Tamara.